All right, well, hello, 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 and welcome back to another segment with This is What My College Makes Me Do for the Sake of Education. As always, I'm your host, Kristen Farwell. Okay, so I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of excited for what I have to talk a little bit about today. So last week in my STEM class, because that is now a term and a thing that is implemented in classrooms, so I'm learning about it, which actually is really cool and the class is a lot of fun. Anyways, back on topic. Last week, we were required to have a field trip to the BYU Idaho radio station, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know we had that. Are you guys aware that even the school has like 3 radio channels the radio station is over? I sure wasn't, and my mind was blown even just thinking about it. Anyways, so I got to walk through the radio station and learn more a little bit about it. And let me tell you guys, science is purely amazing. Let's talk about like the technological advancements that we've had in the last 100 years. Yeah, like even just cell phones. It's insane. One thing in particular, though, that I want to mention is our microphones. I don't know about all of you, but when I think of the radio, I have in my mind an old rustic radio with the crackly voice yelling out sports scores that you can't ever quite make out, that go kind of like the whole Charlie Brown teacher talking thing. Then again, here I am talking to you guys clearly, so like, I've obviously never grown up with it. Anyways. But the radio station, they have actually these really, really nice microphones that specifically are used for the radio station. So it ends up sounding like they're talking right next to you guys. The radio station actually has this really nice microphone that they specifically use for the radio station, so it sounds like they're talking right next to you guys in the car or wherever you're listening to this podcast. One thing that they do use is a microphone called a condenser microphone. This microphone is actually better than stage microphones apparently because it picks up your voice better, which is interesting, and apparently they're really fragile. And I don't know if it's like you drop it off the top of a building fragile or like you can scream into it and it'll probably blow a speaker fragile. It's probably the second one rather than the first, but there's me and that's like my ADD brain going in one direction. Anyways, but I'm also severely not this techie. Okay, so I'm really not this techie though, and I'm still learning this whole podcast thing. And bless you guys for coming through with me on my journey so I know what I'm doing. But along with the condenser, they have this thing called a pot filler. Now, what I've found most interesting is this pot filler, because the microphone picks up sound waves and it transmits it out to you guys so you guys can hear it as well in a different location at a different time. But this pot filter is insane. And what it is it's something that they put in front of the microphone and it stops puffs of air. So we're going to do a quick experiment real quick. I want you guys, wherever you are, to put a hand in front of your mouth just real quick and say banana. All right, now say popcorn popping. Do you feel that puff of air with each of the B's and the P's? Apparently, that can distort the sound quality in the microphones because of the rush of air. So they have this pot filter, this specific filter that looks like a big black circle thing with mesh over it to stop the puh and the rushes of airs. Which ironically, pot filter has that P sound, the puh sound, and it has the rush of air. So that's pretty ironic. But it keeps the quality of the microphone good so that we can talk to you guys and make our presentation sound good instead of the radio sound. How unique, right? Alright, well that is all the time that I have left today. I will see you guys another time. Thank you for joining me and listening to This is What My College Makes Me Do for the Sake of Education, and have a good night.